Who are you? And where are you going? What do you want? For the next 24 minutes, we're going to design and attain your ideal life. On the Way to Wow Show. Together, we'll find the ideal path to get you back on the track to success and happiness. On the Way to Wow Show with your host, Kevin Bemmel.
If you're thinking something unusual is going on here at the Way to Wow Show, you'd be right. I mean, no coat and tie. What's that about? Today, we have Dr. Andrew Walsh on the show, and we're going to be spending the whole time having him show us how to break through the self-imposed barriers that we all have. He's going to show us how to get to our way to wow. Once upon a time, there was a young lady from Massachusetts who went to the University of Hartford and got a degree in musical theater. But somehow, life upon the wicked stage was not for our guest bartender, who from now on, we're gonna call them wow tenders, because I mean, wow. Katie O'Donnell is here on the Way to Wow Show, and she's going to now demonstrate what she learned over her subsequent career as a bartender, and now as a representative for Bond and Regal, right?
Bond and Royal.
Bond and Royal. Well, Regal Royal, I was pretty close.
Yeah, I'll take it.
She's gonna tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about the cocktail you're going to make.
Sure. Yeah, so true. I am a musical theater major from Massachusetts, but I came out here about 9 years ago and I fell in love with the hospitality scene of LA. And I was serving tables and everyone said, you'd be a really great bartender. You should really bartend. And I never wanted to. I felt like it was a trap. It would be trapped behind the bar. I couldn't have been more wrong. It's the most liberating profession in the hospitality industry, I think. I mean, you're in control of so much magic that happens and so much of the way that people's evenings go, and you meet so many incredible people. It was a really great place to be. So I bartended, I learned craft cocktails, craft spirits, heritage brands, all of those amazing things, and transitioned into a portfolio manager role for Sazerac Spirits Company's heritage portfolio called Bond and Royal.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's where we are.
And so what are you going to make for us today?
I'm going to make, so Sazerac, the company that is the parent company of mine, is based in New Orleans. And so there is a historic and a classic cocktail that is the legitimate cocktail, the certified cocktail of the city of New Orleans. So we're going to make a Sazerac cocktail.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Yes, I've read about it. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about what's in it and how it's mixed up, that kind of thing.
Sure. It's actually a cocktail that's rooted very much in New Orleans history. So it dates back all the way to the mid-1800s with a gentleman named Antoine Peychaud who was making a bitters out of an apothecary in the French Quarter. So he was a Haitian immigrant, or at least what is now today Haiti, and he wasn't making any money selling his bitters. So he decided to become a bartender. There's like a little bit of, we have kind of a similar path of life.
Exactly.
Wasn't working out, so we shifted fields. So he starts working at the Sazerac Coffee House, and they were making cocktails there, but his signature cocktail was mixing cognac with his bitters and sugar. And at the Sazerac Coffee House, which was named so because of a cognac they were importing from France that was called Sazerac de Forges. So the house cocktail became Peychaud's creation, and therefore it was labeled the Sazerac cocktail. Wonderful. So pretty cool. But fast forward a couple years, 1870s, phylloxera hits France, which if you don't know what phylloxera is, it's devastating of all grapes.
Right.
I mean, you have a wine selection, so I think you're probably pretty well
read
versed.
about it a few times.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it hit the cognac production, and Thomas Handy, who was another name in the Sazerac world of bottle labeling that you can look up, he was the bartender at the Sazerac Coffee House at that time, and he switched out cognac for American rye whiskey. And they wanted to have a little French influence still in there, so they added in absinthe as a rinse. And the cocktail today is a little bit different. It's still made with rye whiskey, but it's traditionally made with herb saint, which is a imitation in a way absinthe that's made in New Orleans, because wormwood was banned and you could not get absinthe in the U.S. from 1912 until 2015.
Right. So now we're beyond the wormwood ban, and we've got excellent.
So we are using some absinthe today, which is really cool. We're going to keep in the tradition of using Sazerac American Rye.
Excellent.
And then Peychaud's Bitters also is this is a kosher household, and Peychaud's Bitters is not kosher. So I brought some Bitterman's bitters, which I'm going to combine and make a little riff on the Sazerac.
Oh, nice.
So you'll get to taste something that's similar but not exactly the same, but I love a good riff on a classic. Make it your own. Doesn't have a name yet, so.
Okay. Well, we may call it the Katie Wow or something like that.
Okay.
So we're gonna go do the next segment. We're gonna let you get to some cocktail making and enjoy your cocktail after we're done.
Thanks.
So when I thought about the guests that I wanted to have on the show, one of the first people who leapt to mind was Dr. Andy Walsh. I met Andy back in 2017 or 18, the first Global Milk and Global Conference you were at. And Andy was on a panel discussion with a couple of other people, and the room was standing room only. It was packed, and people were just riveted by what you were talking about. And at the end of the session, everybody's going, well, I want more, I want more, I want more. And so Andy said, well, maybe we can do a workshop tomorrow. We'll see if we can get the Milken people to do it. And I was talking with Andy about this while we were waiting to set the shot. And I guess it had to go all the way up to Michael Milken for him to say, yes, do this. So 6 o'clock the next morning, there's, I think, 100, 200 of us back in the room to do this exercise to show us how we could break through our self-imposed barriers. And I know for myself, it was such an amazing experience, because I always thought of myself as someone who, oh yeah, of course, I can do this, I can do that, but no matter what, we all have these barriers. So Dr. Andy Walsh is a human optimization specialist. I think that's probably a pretty fair description, right? Yeah. At one time, you were involved with Red Bull and their team, and now you work with a hugely diverse group of clientele, from corporations, sports organizations, individuals, the military, the government, anybody who's really looking to help their people get from where they are to a more optimal level of performance. So Andy has come here today, and he's going to take my colleague Sierra and me through an exercise so you can see right here, right now, that we all can break through our barriers. It's not the thing that you got to be some special, super person to do it. We can do it. So I'm going to kind of turn over things to you and tell us a little bit more about your story, how you got here, and what you're doing, and then we'll get down on the mats and have you put us through our paces.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thanks so much again for having me on. And yeah, I think that little introduction at Milken was really sort of the premise we want to sort of share with everyone, is the idea that human potential, human optimization, really the science of all that has come so far in the last 10, 15 years that we are now in a position to be able to share it more broadly than in the traditional cases. So in the past, as you mentioned, you're an elite athlete or a very special government operator or a high-level business person. You could access some of these tools, but we're seeing now that they have such potential when put in the hands of sort of everybody, and they can have such impact. It's democratizing the sort of lessons we've learned from all these extraordinary performers, really is what we're about. So that's sort of the journey that we've been on for the last few years, is how do we still work with the top talent and sort of keep learning and growing from that engagement, but at the same time taking the sort of simple parts of it, the best parts of it, if you like, and bringing it sort of to a broader audience.
So for the typical person who's watching this, who probably isn't an elite athlete, or isn't a Navy SEAL or a Delta Force or something like that, right? Where it's their job, right, to pursue ever higher levels of performance. So for the average person like Sierra and me, how can we use performance optimization in our lives? mean, is it just in our professional lives, or how do we apply it?
It's a great question. I think what it boils down to, and sort of the models we've learned over the years, sort of are really simple and actually sort of translate broadly because they anchor in first and foremost on you as a person. So the idea being sort of in our most casual sense is sort of better at you and then better at what you do is sort of how we think about it. So all the basic principles start with sort of self-awareness, self-reflection, an understanding of what you enjoy, what makes you tick, what you don't like, and then those skills, whether you want to be a better partner, better mother, father to your kids, better business person, better talent, better athlete, it doesn't really matter. It all starts with this sort of introduction to sort of a greater sense of yourself, and that really opens it up. So that's what we like. We like to train you so that no matter what impact or mastery or area of mastery you're maybe embarking on, the skills cover everything that you're engaged in. So it's you may be training for something very specifically, but the skills apply home, work, business, whatever it may be.
So it sounds to me you're looking not only to optimize in the short term, but really to help people create paradigm shifts in whatever they're involved in. So can you give us? Okay, I'm getting a high sign. So I was going to say, can you give us an example of how to do that? Well, so
use us as the example.
Yeah, there you go. See, See, this is why Sierra is on the show, because she keeps me doing what I need to do.
Fantastic.
So we're gonna do an exercise where you show us at least how to break through our short-term potential. I guess we may not do a paradigm shift here today, but maybe we'll have you back and we'll figure out a way to do a paradigm shift on camera or something like that.
Yeah. I think the context of what this exercise is really back to that first conversation we had, which is self-awareness. And holding your breath naturally creates anxiety. It actually puts stress on you, but it's completely harmless, but allows you to navigate that space between, okay, I think I can do this. We know you could probably do a lot more. And just so you know, the record for a static breath hold, I think, is around 11 to 12 minutes now, somewhere out there. So it's a long time.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, and we're expecting to break that.
Yeah, break that record today.
Easy.
But you're going to get this opportunity, is how you frame it, is okay. Things are going to get, for me, I'm going to hold my breath, and things are going to get incrementally a little bit more challenging. That's the name. As you move from sort of comfortable to less comfortable to uncomfortable, the only thing today is to think about how am I responding to that and how am I navigating that conversation with myself. And I'll cut to the chase. Classically, people beat themselves up, especially when doing it in a group. I'm not going to do as long as I thought. I'm not going to do as long as the person next to me. There's all that self-talk that starts to basically hijack the process. So your opportunity is to just sort of relax and observe what you're saying and just accept it and just be in that present moment as you're holding the breath. And then no right or wrong. If you start to have the thoughts are negative, just let them, if you can, just observe them. Just watch them pass in front of you. And as we try and hold our breath, you're getting a chance to recognize your own innate responses to challenge and threat, which translate more broadly as a bigger understanding of self-awareness. And then when you're out there as part of a team or a group, when things start to get challenging, you'll probably recognize some of the default behaviors that you have. And then you start to think about, well, how do I manage? And that's for the next episode. How do we move through that?
Right. It's kind of a self-study. This is where I thought my limit was. I can go farther than that, and who knows how much farther I can go.
And that's just one example of just a general awakening of your own awareness of self under a bit of threat. And the beauty of holding your breath is you can't talk to anybody. You're just going to talk to yourself.
Sorry, Kevin, you're on your own.
Yeah.
That's okay.
This one today is just the first steps, so just learning a little bit about the breathing. So we start with just hand in hand, chest and, sorry, I hit your microphone, hand and belly. And the first thing is just learning how to inhale what they call level 1 breath. So it's just breathe in by extending the belly, pulling down the diaphragm and filling up the bottom part of the lung. So it's like, and you should feel it, just your lower hand moving, not your upper chest yet. So the trick would be, if you breathe through the upper chest, you'll feel that.
Right.
But you're trying to Just your belly. Nice and easy. Just relax. Keep breathing. Okay. And this is just teaching us to use and fill up the bottom of the lungs when we take our breath. Relax for a second, because the second thing I'll get you to do is when I say deep breath in, just for your mental model, is to think about filling the lower part, then filling the upper part. So rather than just going, think about this, just like level, and we'll do it the whole time. You'll breathe in. So sort of belly, chest. Belly first, then chest. Breathe in through the belly, then through the chest. Fill up the lungs. Relax, nice and easy. So that's all we'll do. So why don't we lie down and we'll just practice. The easiest way to do this is to do it.
Oh.
Do you want a pillow or something for your heads, or are you comfortable lying on that?
I'll have a drink waiting for you on the other side.
Yeah, that's
You.
all
We'll
right.
do this
We're going to
quickly.
earn this drink.
So the first question we always ask is, how long can you hold your breath for?
Oh, I don't know.
What, got 30 seconds in you?
Yeah.
Got a minute?
No idea.
No idea?
We'll find out.
Done it before, but before
Yeah.
you did it the first time, where were you at?
I was right at about a minute.
Yeah. Like most people can suffer up to a minute, if they really want to do it without practice. This technique, we should at least see you starting to break through that. But more important than the time, which is kind of irrelevant, is being able to watch that inner dialogue as things start to get increasingly a little bit more challenging. Remember that first urge to breathe is going to be just CO2 building up in your system. So you actually have a ton of oxygen. So let's do the breathe up. And so we're going to do a few minutes just to practice the slow repetition of the breathing. I would close my eyes, relax, breathe in, pause, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pause, relax, breathe in. Pause, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, when I say so, I want to see that index finger come up for a 30-second signal in 3, 2, 1. 30-second signal. Great. Nice and easy. You're going to feel that little bit of an urge to breathe. Just let it wash over your body. Relax into it if you can. Watch that conversation. You've got plenty of O2 left. Nice and easy. Coming up on 1 minute in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe. 3 good breaths. Watch 1. Just good breaths. Another hard breath. Another breath. Give me an okay signal. We're doing okay. Good. Before we go any further, feel okay? Feel all right? Gets a little harder at the end.
Yeah,
Just
I felt that.
just let it relax. Let it sink in. And if you come out early,
Yeah, I just came out a little early.
but that's okay. If you come out, everyone's different. Everyone does this differently. Everyone progresses differently. Just do those 3 breaths just to, all right. And then be like, all right, I'm just going to start my breathe up again. Nice and easy, even if we go. So this time we're going to go for a couple of minutes longer, and then we'll try and go for a 1:30 breath hold. Okay? All right, so start breathing up. 3, 2, 1, breathe in. Pause, and breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, nice and easy. 3, 2, 1, deep breath in and hold. Hold that breath now. Now relax straight away. Let your arms go, let your legs go, let your shoulders go, let your upper back, your neck. Relax your jaw, relax your forehead. Let things go. We're going to do signals at the 1 and then we'll finish at 1:30. You guys are doing great. You'll feel that urge to breathe. It's just natural. You don't need oxygen. Just try and imagine what you had for breakfast, walk through the day, think of your favourite song. You're doing great, guys. That urge to breathe is just the body trying to figure out what's going on. Plenty of O2 left. We're coming up onto the 1 minute. The 1 minute signal on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minute signal, please. Great. You got it, guys. Just keep going. No movement. Nice and easy. You might feel a little urge in your throat, a little tickle. Try and relax the jaw. Watch that conversation. You're almost there. Nice and easy. Relax into it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe out. 130. 130. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. 3 breaths. One more of these, and then we'll do our light breaths, and then just the last breath hold of the day. Pause, pause, breathe in. Pause, pause, breathe out. Okay, give us 5 shallow breaths. Okay, just lie there, relax now. Nice and easy. Last one today, just think about what you did last time and maybe a little bit longer, 3 or 4 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, deep breath in and hold. Let everything go straight away. Start with the toes, relax your toes, relax your ankles. Let your muscles in your calves go. Let your quads, your hamstrings relax. Muscles around your hips, your lower back. Let everything just sink into that mat. Your chest, your shoulders, your arms, down to your hands and your fingers, your neck. Let everything go nice and easy. We're going to go as long as you feel comfortable. I'm going to check in for signals at the 1 and then every 30 seconds after that. Just letting it go, let that wave wash over you. Watch the thoughts. Don't let them unpack you. 1 minute signal in 3, 2, 1. 1 minute signal. Okay, relax straight away. Great. We're coming up on the 1:30 signal. The 1:30 signal in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1:30 signal. Great. Good job, guys. Fantastic. Now relaxing right into it. Letting it go. Relax the neck. Relax the arms. Relax the legs. Great job. 1:45 there, Sierra. Keep going. Coming up on the 2 minute signal. 2 minute signal in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 minute signal. Great. Keep going. Keep going. Good job. Relax, relax, relax. Breathe, 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 breathe. Well done. Well done, both of you.
Post-nasal drip in yet again.
Fantastic.
I'm thinking to myself, you can go farther, and all of a sudden it's like the post-nasal drip is killing me.
Stay there for a second, just relax. And as you're unpacking it, what did it feel like, Sierra? Tell us how, because you went better. You got better and better and better every time. What were you doing?
Being someone with asthma, that was really exciting for me. Wow. I, prior to this, had trained myself to know a minute based on a John Legend song. So I started singing that to myself, so I knew when I was getting that 1 minute. So I was like, if I just keep going, it'll be fine. But the weird thing was I felt as if my heart was thin, beating on my abdomen, which was so strange. Yeah. But that's what helped me, was just singing that song and being like, oh no, you know the lyrics. Where are you going to stop? It's fine.
Did you find yourself beating yourself up a little bit towards the end? Or what was you, just as it started to get tough, what was the conversation like then?
I didn't beat myself up because I knew I was getting farther than before. And as long as it's progress, I'm okay with that. Even if it's not a lot, some is great. And I also knew Kevin's done this before, so he's going to kick my butt anyways. That's fine. I'm made peace with that.
Did you find that last one easier though? The time went. You got to
Did.
1:30.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense in my brain, but I was like, it was like you said with the ocean, kind of like we made this rhythm of breathing and actually sounding like the ocean between us, and then just imagining like, and now you're in the ocean, not listening to it, you're in it. That did help.
Yeah, and that's it. You sort of came in thinking one thing, with a little training, a little tools, a little instruction, a little
Yeah.
knowledge, and that's all coaching is. And human performance, there's sort of two things. One, we're giving you the tools and the techniques. At the same time, you're starting to learn about your own responses and what works for you, what didn't. The John Legend thing was what you used, and that's how people navigate their own performance journey. They start to identify that they have tools, they have techniques, they have things that work for them, and how do you start to just bring that to light and sort of try and amplify it? How about you, Kevin? You easily went to the 2 minutes, but I
Yeah.
could see at the end you started.
Yeah, so I could feel it in my nose, and I have postnasal drip. So in retrospect, if we had had a pillow, it was so funny because we're coming up on the 2-minute mark. I'm thinking, oh, no problem. I'm going to be able to make 2:30 without a problem. And just as we were lifting for the 2-minute thing, and all of a sudden it all sort of went back into my
You were
sinuses.
so relaxed.
Yeah, and it just I felt for a moment like I was drowning, which
Yeah.
wasn't different than I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
The breathe. So it was somewhat unrelated to the holding breath exercise.
How were you navigating your thought patterns? What was going on for you?
So I was, at first I was saying, come on, you've got to get to at least what you did before. And then I said, no, don't do that. So I actually started thinking about when I used to walk my dog and he'd be chasing after the birds and stuff. And I would just watch him, sort of gambling along on the lawns and such. And I was just sort of enjoying that picture as I was, holding my breath. So just, I don't know, a happy place.
Yeah, I get, but it's also that proxy for you're learning how to navigate your own performance with one particular exercise, and it becomes challenging. So you have to think about how am I going to manifest who I am, and how I'm going to respond in that moment. As you get further into it, you just start to push up against that edge, figure out what works. Oh, try that. No, it didn't work. Try this. Oh, it did work. And that's all the sort of, we joke in our business, it's human performance is literally about just trial and error, really navigating a landscape that's important to you, an area of mastery that's important to you, but doing it with your own tools, your own journey, in your own way. Yeah, listening to other people and thinking about how others have done it helps, but ultimately it's about your journey and who you are and how you want to be in that. That's sort of, this little exercise is just one simple example to give you a chance.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, up you get. You should be okay now to stand up. Just get up easily. Don't get up quickly.
You got it?
Whoa there, I'm worried about you.
Oh, actually, ooh,
Yeah.
I am a little bit dizzy. That's weird.
Have some water before you have this very strong cocktail.
No, we worked hard for the cocktail. Okay, some people work hard for the money. We work hard for the cocktail. So we've got some Sazeracs, right?
Yeah.
All right, here I'll pass them along.
There you go. So these are modified. We still have to come up with a name for them.
Thank you very much.
Next time you're meditating and breathing. Thank you.
So the human potential Sazerac, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down with that.
So we just leave this here and sip, or?
It's up to you. So the garnish with the Sazerac has much controversy around it. So you can either decide to, I did not rim your glasses with it.
Oh.
So if you want the essential oils on the outside of the rim, go for that.
Yep.
If you want to dump it in there and have it for as just aromatics throughout your drink, you can do that, or you can throw it over your shoulder and someone will come pick it up later.
No, that someone's me. Don't do it.
Well, cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Ma'am?
Thank you.
Miss.
So they're still chilled enough.
Ooh.
Oh,
That is good.
Yeah, so we did a little different of a Sazerac. Sazerac normally comes out in a really bright, vibrant pink color from the Peychaud's bitters. So this is definitely a more aromatic, more rich. It's almost richer in flavor in a lot of ways.
It's spicy, but it's also, I don't know, there's another underlying, lots of layers.
It's gentle at the same time.
Right?
You
Yeah,
know, like,
it is.
it's strong,
I was
but it's not
expecting a little
aggressive.
kick in the teeth, but it's
The Sazerac rye really helps out with that. It's a really beautiful 6-year-old rye, so it's mellowed out a lot. It doesn't have a lot of bite.
Wonderful.
So this goes right in with relaxing,
Yeah,
introspection.
exactly.
People have that at bars, I guess.
Sierra, thank you for
Kevin,
helping with
thank
this
you.
segment.
Thank you so
for
much.
teaching me.
No,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Andy,
Cheers.
cheers. Thanks so much. That's our show for this week. A special thank you to our team member, Sierra Barrett, for joining with all the fun during Andy Walsh's segment. Next week, stay tuned. When the Way to Wow show goes international, we'll be talking to Kara Macklin, who really is going to help us shape up our mindsets. Courage at all times, my friends. Marie, you're still my belle, darling.